moderator for today's webinar. I welcome you all to our webinar Secure Content Management organized by IEEE Lahore region in collaboration with UOL IEEE Student Branch. Our guest speaker is Mr. Adnan Amin. I welcome you, sir. Mr. Adnan has over 14 years of extensive experience on Microsoft technologies with major expertise on SharePoint Server, Office 365, .NET platforms, and Microsoft BI. He is Microsoft MVP for Office apps and services since 2015 and Microsoft certified trainer for the past 10 years. He was also MCT Regional Lead for 5 years, 2012 to 2017. He is currently working as senior Microsoft consultant for PCM. He has implemented SharePoint for different government and private sectors in the Gulf region and United States, which also includes Fortune 500 companies. Being a Microsoft certified trainer, he is involved in training to the corporate sector within Pakistan and Middle East. He is a technology evangelist, blogger, speaker, and engaged with the community through different tech forms. I welcome you, sir. Welcome on board, and you can have the session now.
Thank you. Thank you, Zaner, for inviting me to the session. And my screen is shared. Desktop is shared. No, or
Not yet, sir.
so. Let me know if my desktop is shared.
Uh, there's a share screen button down there.
I already shared that.
Can you try again?
Let me share it again. Can you see that?
Not yet, Adnan.
Let me stop my video and let me know.
Adnan, we are still unable to see. Yeah, desktop is appearing now. Sorry, people,
Okay.
we were having a technical problem. Adnan, you are good to go. Okay.
Thank you so much for joining the session. Today, I will be speaking on secure content management, where I will be sharing details on SharePoint, OneDrive, and Microsoft Teams. And let me start on the session. But before that, I would like to tell you about myself. That my name is Adnan Amin, and I'm working as a Microsoft technology consultant at Oliver Goose, which is a US-based company. I am based in Lahore, and I have been over 15 years of experience of working on Microsoft technologies with core expertise on SharePoint, Microsoft Teams, Office 365, and also on .NET platform. Uh, and I am a Microsoft MVP since 2015 for Office apps and services, and I was an MCT Regional Lead for 5 years, and I am an active MCT for past almost 11 years. And other than that, I'm a trainer, blogger, blogs at mstechtalk.com, and speaks on different community events. And you can reach out to me on my Twitter, my blog, my Facebook page, and also on YouTube channel. So let's begin here. Today we will be discussing about what is content and how to manage it, and why we need to we discussing this topic today, that what is secure content management, why we need to secure it, and also then I will be discussing that how we manage content in SharePoint, OneDrive, Teams, and how we secure it. And I will highlight that what are the ways available on Microsoft 365 for securing the content. But before that, I would like you to submit a survey for me, so that I can get an idea that how many of you already have worked on these platforms. Just a second. Can you see the URL here?
Yes, Adnan, we can.
Just copy the
Yeah.
URL and open it in browser, and and just submit that form. That's a small form, with few options, and once you have that option, then I will get an idea that about the audience, that what is your current expertise on the on listed tools, and this will be helpful for me mm, to continue the session from here.
Adan, can you share the URL in a chat so that we can share that with the audience in comment section?
Sure, I'm sharing that.
Thank you. Adan, we have received the URL. We will be posting that. You can continue the session.
Okay, I'm just checking the output on if someone has submitted. I got few of the outputs here. Let me just review the outputs. Okay, so let me move to the next slide here. So, what is content and its type? First, if we discuss that, what is the type of content? In real life, you know that we have files and folders in real life where we save content, and which are physically available. And you know that that also some of the contents are available publicly, and some of the content are also secure. And yet, there are multiple ways of securing those content. In real life, we, for example, if there are official documents, we're securing them in some drawers or some lockers. So that's and there are some public documents which we publish on newspapers and other areas. So these are the ways because content is used to share the information and to save the information. And if you we talk about modern age, like in past 20 years, we are using content on web pages, blogs, and I believe that everyone is very much aware of about web pages and blogs, and especially in today's date, if we talk about social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and those are a big medium of content sharing. And you have idea that when you are sharing something with your friends or family members or within office and teams, you need to secure the content, and how you're saving the content on your social platforms. Similarly, if I talk about data is basically content, that how you are saving the content, and there could be different types, that whatever documents you are saving it as a document, you have content in form of videos and different things. And even you have if I talk about databases, those are also a medium of saving content and securing the content. Like if your national identification number, those details are saved in databases, not publicly available. So these are also different mediums of saving content. And then I talk about CMS, ECM, or WCM, which are different ways of managing content platforms. Like CMS is for content management system, ECM is enterprise content management system, and if web content management system, where we are managing content within webs, internet portals, websites, blogs. And if we talk about enterprise, where we are managing documents, videos, all these things are different type of content we are managing. So these all are different, and there could be multiple different new types are available which are coming up daily basis. So when we have that much flow of information, then we come to know that to how to secure that content, what need to be shared and what we do not need to be shared. So there we need to distinguish between public content and secure content. Public means anything which you are sharing publicly. Like if there are you might have seen that on Twitter, on Facebook, you are securing content publicly. Or if I talk about websites, companies are listing their news announcements on their websites, but they also have internal portals where they are sharing details with their internal teams only. How they are sharing the information? They are blocking the access for the external users to their those portals. Similarly, if I talk about the documents, which are very which is the key topic of our today's discussion, that there are some documents which are shared publicly, but not all the documents are shared publicly. There could be secure content available on the documents, because our today we are moving to the era of e-governance, e-document, that everything, all the official things are saved on the document systems, and which are secured and not available physically. So how to keep them secure? And documents could have information about your social security numbers, your credit card details, all those things. How you are securing content, and being working on this content management platform for past couple of years, I know that we are providing a secure platform within Microsoft 365 for organizations to save their content. And I will show you later on that how we are securing those contents. And if I talk about permissions, uh, I hope that every one of you is using Facebook and platforms like those. You must be having idea about that, what it means by read, edit, and full access permissions, which are basically also available on documents. If I talk about a blog, a website, those are read only access content, where you can read the content only. You cannot modify the content. But if I talk about Wikipedia, you have access to modify the content. You can add new content, and you can also read the content. So it's just like that, you have added access on the content. And if I talk about Facebook pages, if you own a Facebook page, you have full access on that, and you can add multiple editors, and you can also define roles for the readers. So these are different ways of managing permissions. And there are more detail on managing permissions at the granular level within documents, which I will be discussing. Now let me check quickly, we review the responses here. I'm showing you also here. This is also a form of content. And if you see here, I shared that document, that form with you, so that you can add submit that information. That's the edit access. And I have given you that permission that anyone can submit that form. If I see here that, so most of them, the users are from India and Pakistan, and that's good that everyone know about. Almost we have a very good percentage on people who know about Microsoft 365. More are coming. SharePoint 10, 9, that's fine. OneDrive. And OneDrive is basically a SharePoint site, which I will be discussing. Microsoft Teams. Okay, that's a small form, and many of you already filled it. Now let's move. If I talk about SharePoint, SharePoint is a Microsoft platform product for content management, which is a collaboration platform where we can manage content on pages and also on document libraries. And if you see here on the screen, that I have just listed few bullet points, that we can create, read, update Microsoft documents within SharePoint site. You can access them online within browser or from any device, or any of the mobile device, and you can easily modify that. You can create major and minor version of document. I believe that every one of you having different type of documents within on your mobile devices, on your laptops or systems, and you are managing that. And if you are a university student, or you are working on them, you might have that face that issue, that some of the content is lost due to that you haven't saved those files. So in SharePoint, we and sometimes it happens that you are working on a file, document, you made some changes. Now you need to revert those changes, but you do not have that version. And normally, what you do for creating multiple version of the file, what I remember, that what I was doing, that I always create a copy of the file with a different name, like adding a version at the end, that especially with the date or version number, and managing that. But in SharePoint, it automatically manages the major and minor versions. So, and these are used that what and these are very useful for sharing information within the teams, and also monitoring that what are the changes made by which user and at what time. And check in and check out are also very, sorry, there's a typo here. Has a typo, I need that would be check in and check out on the documents, so that when I'm working on a file, no one else can work on a file. But there could be a possibility that multiple users can work on a single file at the same time. And I remember for one few of the customers, they having few Excel sheets where over 35 users are working at the same time. So in real life scenarios, there are different possibilities. So uh, uh, co-authoring is also a key feature within SharePoint for the document, and also checking and locking the file so that no one else can modify the file. And now here is a key area for the today's discussion, that sharing a document with other users. There are different ways of sharing. Sometimes you need to share content within your peers, within your teammates. Sometimes you're sharing with other departments, and there are also requirements that you are sharing content outside your organization with other teams, with other some vendors or customers. So on that scenario, you need to share the document with specific permissions, and there are organization level policies are also available, which you can define on SharePoint on or within Microsoft 365, that who can share the file or who share the file. And there's also monitoring available, that you can verify that how many who viewed the file and how many times this file have been viewed. And these analytics reports are very important, especially in secure organizations, especially financial organizations. And you can also associate metadata, and I hope that everyone know about metadata, that which shows the information about documents, and which make it easier to understand that which, because in today's that we having documents in millions, and it's really hard to verify each of the document. You can there are multiple ways that you can name them accordingly. You can define the years, month wise document, and there are also department wise document, that quarterly report, first quarter reports. So there are multiple ways to define the metadata for the files, which make it easier to search the document. And and the last option, which is the core option, that how much easy it is to upload the file. Now let me show you a quick demo on the SharePoint, that how we are managing the files. I know that it's a topic related to content security, so I will be discussing more on that side. But I will also give you a brief overview on SharePoint area, so that everyone who don't have idea about SharePoint can get some ideas. So what I have done, I went to the developer.microsoft.com. I created a demo portal, and on demo portal, it would take some time to provision different services, and these are the different type of services which are available. Let me open the admin center of it here, and you will see different, that you will have different services like Microsoft Teams, Outlook, OneDrive, SharePoint, which are the core services of Office 365. Here you can see all these apps here, services here. You will have almost 25 users available on the for the demo purpose, and which are very helpful for you. Like users, you can add users here and assign them if demo licenses to them for your testing. Now I'm going to SharePoint, and this is the admin center of the SharePoint within Microsoft 365. And here I have all the active sites which I have created you when I was working on Teams. And one of the site which I already have opened here, this is the communication site, and you can see that this is just like a normal website which you have seen, but this is the internet portal, and there's a difference between a website and the internet portal, because within organizations, organizations themselves have content management systems for internal announcements, teams where they are sharing different trainings, internal news, updates with the team. So that's why we have communication site for the within the organization, which are and where we all the organization documents are saved. And here on you can see that, and it's quite easy to manage the content on this one because I am the admin of the site. I have access to edit the content. And if I show you that, you might have seen multiple platforms like this one for managing content, that you can edit the content simply, you can add images, and you can also define different content sources within SharePoint for fetching these details. Now I'm going to republish it, and if I show you at the backend site content here, here is a document library. They have different lists for calendar for managing calendar events, but I will take you to the document library here. And here you can see there's a file added here. I'm not adding more documents. You can drag and drop documents to this one. And if any one of you have used OneDrive, which comes with Outlook.com or Hotmail.com, it has this almost the similar view. And you can have, I think, 30 million documents limits within a document library, or maybe 50 million, because these information are updating on uh, after some time by Microsoft on SharePoint Online. And here you can see different versions, different options are available here. And if I take you here, you can see check in, check out option here. If I check out the document here, it will now only available to me to check out the file, that I can only modify the file here. No one else can modify that file now. And let me open a Word file for the demo purpose. For example, let me, it uploading the file. I just drag and drop the file here, and it's uploaded. It will be uploaded here. And if I click on the file, the file size is around 12.8 MB. And if I show you here, the file is uploaded, and these are the metadata information with the file, that what is the file. There's some approval here. And if I go here, it will open the file within browser, and I can modify the file directly from here. So it's quite easy to work online. If you don't have Microsoft Word installed on your machine, you can access it directly, and you can also access it from your mobile devices. And similarly, if I show you here, let me approve this file, because this is a content management system and it will require approval. Before that, let me show you also the version history. This is a version history, and it will be helpful that if you have multiple versions of a document and you want to track changes, you can easily track the changes from here. And now I will take you to the library settings, and for before that, you can also share the document with your peers, and here you will see multiple options. People that you are sharing the document with, within the organization. This is the name of the organization on which I'm working on this demo tenant. And here you can specify that people with existing access, who have already have access on this document library, or specific people. Here I can add users here that who will have access. Like I can write down my external name. Let's see what are the policies here. And it will send that file link to me, and it give me, this user is outside the organization, and it will be given that access. And whatever the access I'm providing him, user can edit the file. I can also disable this option. and it's quite easy to for sharing the document and managing permissions from document library. And there are multiple ways for managing permissions. If I show you here, library settings, we have permissions here that even instead of one single document, you can there are teams who need access. You are going to the document level, library level, or the folders level, where you can provide them access. That you are so these are different ways of the different roles available. You can stop the inheritance default permission level within SharePoint, and you can modify the permissions here. Let me jump into the OneDrive and then Teams so that I can share a few more details on the permissions side. Now, if I talk about OneDrive, there are two different versions of OneDrive. OneDrive is for business and also for OneDrive, which is available with Outlook.com. And you can see that with the one co-authoring is available on both versions of OneDrive, versioning, sync. The best part of the OneDrive and SharePoint is that you can sync the file locally using the OneDrive client on your machines. That will help that you are working offline, and when you get connected, all the files will be synced, all the changings will be uploaded to the OneDrive or SharePoint, whatever the location of the file or folders. And also if there are any changes pushed by other users, those will be available to you. And you can, if you have only view access, you can't modify those documents which are uh, uh, where you don't have added access. And one important point here is that right now I showed you that how is it easy to available, but there could be some content which is highly secure, where you don't want anyone. It could be a possibility that you can share the content, save the file within one of the existing document libraries, but you want to make sure that that content should be secured. And for that, we will be using sensitivity labels, which I will be show you at the end of the session, that how we are managing those that type of content information. Let's jump to the OneDrive for one of the user here. Like if I take you to the OneDrive here, you can simply, I haven't configured this OneDrive here, but it's very easy that I can sync it with my local machine by clicking here, and I can just drag and drop files here. And all the files or all the sites or from other users or from SharePoint are also now visible from this page. And all this share information is also available. And whatever the documents which are available on different SharePoint sites is also available. Like here, if I show you that these are document libraries, it has some content. If I go there, the content is also available to me from here, and I can easily view it from my OneDrive also. And these are different teams where content is saved within teams. And these are the and I just want to clear one thing here, that Microsoft Teams, either it's Microsoft Teams or it's OneDrive or the SharePoint. OneDrive and SharePoint at the backend are using OneDrive and Teams are at the backend are using the SharePoint document libraries for saving all the content. So SharePoint is the core which I have shown you, with how we are working on in SharePoint. Now let me jump into the Microsoft Teams section. So from there we can check more details for securing content and managing content. I will go here and we just click on Teams here. If any one of you who don't have access to Microsoft 365, again I'm telling you that you can get a developer version of Microsoft 365, where you will get the license for 3 months, and if you continue working on that, it will be extended automatically, and it give you a 25 user enterprise license, E5 license. Here I am on Microsoft Teams. Most of you have seen that it's available on its desktop application is also available. It's available on all browser applications, and also It's available on mobile devices. Or many of you who are using it, you might have seen the apps on your iOS devices and Android devices. And here it's very easy to create the teams. That you are creating a team for your team and adding content here. I already have some of the teams here, and if you check there, that I created them for some other demos in past. And here's a team red and green where I marked them for managing content. The- Within team, you can share some of the conversation with the team. Hello, everyone. And this will be shared with the other team members who are part of that team. And if I show you that who are the part members of the team, so here are few users. I have given Alex as an owner permission on the team, and there's a guest user, and also at Levens as a contributor from the organization. So one thing here I want to tell you about the guest accounts. Sorry, that guest users are those who are not member of your organization. Those could be external users. So it's very important to understand that, because they are very these are the some uh, required things from many of the organizations, that they want to share some content with the external users, or they want to add external users on teams. Any one of you who use teams, they might have seen that there are users who are not part of your tenant, but you are adding them as a guest user. And I have seen that requirement from me, and that's also a security breach for many of the organizations if the guest access is allowed. What happened that and to securing that, there are policies available at the Microsoft 365 level where you can restrict the cache access. You can specify domains, that which domains are allowed, and also and, and also that how you are going to share content within the teams. So I think here's an announcement by Zunair. And
Thank you, Adnan. Sorry for your interruption, but I have an announcement for the participants. We will be giving the best participant certificate to three of the participants who will ask the best questions from the speaker, and their name will be posted on our Facebook page. So kindly do write your questions, and we will ask from the speaker. And you can continue, Adnan. Thank you.
thank you. So do participate, and if you have any questions, you can ask me, and they will be publishing here on private chat, and I will be updating you, answering those also. So here I'm just giving you the example about the teams, and if I go to journal again, and these are different channels which are available. So this is a file section, and if you see that, you might now again notice that this is the similarity between SharePoint, OneDrive, and Teams. And here is an option for open in SharePoint. If I click on that, it will allow me to open the file within SharePoint. And now I'm going back. Now and there are possibilities. Let me show you some of the tricks and tips and tricks which we do for different customers, because I got a request from one of the schools at the start of COVID-19 that they have teams and they want to secure access. They created different folders for all the students, and they want to secure the access for the students, that they can't view the files over the other students. And technically, whenever you add a user on the team, it must be at least a member, means user must have that uh, added access. Let me show you here. If I go back to the members here, and if you are adding a member here, you will see that, for example, I am using Adley here and already a member. Let me close here. And here, if you I show you that there are only two options available: member or owner. And why members available? Because a team member can the purpose of a team, that team member can participate and attend the events and perform different actions on the team. So user automatically get added access on the SharePoint documents also. So how to restrict that? So what we have done that for one of the sites, let me open. And there are different users here. If I show you, jump into the Alex window. This is the window of Alex here. Alex is the. I think I'm going to correct team here. Alex is yeah. This is the same window. Alex is the moderator, is the owner of the team, and I'm also adding the window of one more user, which is an external user. Let me first do with the internal users. I'm opening the window for the oh, I think I'm missing one of the user here. Let me open with the guest user. That would be fine. This is one of the external user who have given access on few of the teams, and I will show you that how the user is getting like team green here. User can see the document and can also answer to one of the can also reply here. Hi. And if I go to files, you will see that user will have full access on the files. If I show you Alex here, Alex also having full access on the files. Sorry, it's Adley and yeah, I haven't opened now Alex window. So you can see that these users have full access on the file. Now what I will do, I'm going to with the administrative account to the SharePoint site here, open in SharePoint. And from here, I'm going to, this is the folder for the documents. I'm going here and on the documents library, I'm clicking on manage access. The access is available here. I'm going to the advanced settings. These are the some small tricks, very basic tricks which we do. That what I will do, all the users are part of this member. This group, I actually made some changes in past. So let me do this. Yeah, actually, I already have done that changes. Let me show you from here. This user do not have option to edit any of the document and also do not have option to upload any of the file to this document library. But user can download the files or can view the files. If I click on this file, it will open in within Microsoft Teams, but user do not have any access to edit any of the content of the file. Document is read only. And if I show you the window of Alex here, sorry, Adley here, she having access to upload the content that which I will explain it why she having added access. She can modify any of the content here. And if I take you to that uh, SharePoint side where I manage the permissions, these are the default three security groups which are available when a team is created at the backend SharePoint side. And visitors, there's a default Microsoft group which is created. The team green members, these are the all the members which are added on the teams are part of this group. And if I go back here, because and that group is part of this members group, you can see the permission for the group that members group is added and visitors is read. What I have done that I removed the members group from this place and move that to the visitors. Now if I go to members and also remove Adley from here, her permission will be removed from that folder. Now, here's the Adley window. You will see that the options are not showing up. Now, now she cannot upload any of the file. She can only have view access. That's how we are managing permission within Teams. But one thing you might have noticed, let me jump to next topic and Then I will explain you that the last topic for today is sensitivity labels overview. That there are ways that there could be information which is very secure, where we can apply some labels like there is just like that within a department or within your universities. There are content which is highly secure, like your exam papers or something, some other informations which are highly secure. You're keeping them safely on separate locations. And similarly, within organizations, there are departmental sites which are highly secured, where we can, and there could be some documents which are highly secured, which you don't want to share. Because I work for Fortune 500 companies, and I remember that there are companies which have very secure content on SharePoint, and they want to keep that highly secure, that only specific users can access it. And you can there's a term called managed devices, which you might have seen that on your institutes or your organizations. You have machines available which are connected with your domains, active directory domains. So those all are called managed devices. So there could be laptops, mobile devices which are connected with the organization domains, and those are all managed, and information can only be accessed from those devices. And we can also identify that no external user can access this information, which is for example, I uploaded a file on a team where we have some guest users or external users. So we want to restrict there are policies available that the organization want to restrict some of the content not to be accessed by external users. And also that they cannot, and then there could be a requirement that you can download the file and can access it from any other location. So how to restrict that you cannot access the file outside that machine? that that if it's an unknown machine, only document can be accessed through a browser. Let me show you that demo quickly, and then we'll explain that how it is working at the back end. I have shown you on MS Talk that it have a document which is read only to him, and because he is a guest user, he's an external user. You can see that a watermark is showing up on the document. And if I open the same document with Adley, she is a member of the organization. Let's see the impact here. Because right now I remove her access for editing the document, so she don't have, she's also getting that watermark. Now there's another document on the same document library, and you can see the sensitivity applied here, that confidential and highly confidential. If I click on this one, Adley can view the document, but it will be showing a watermark. Let's see, highly confidential, and there could be some. I added something on header of the document, which you can just on watermarking and a few other things, so that to make sure that it's a highly secure document. And if I try to access the same document from this user, from the guest user, you will see that it will it will give you a message that there is a problem with the document. It's not the relevant message, but that it protecting it applying the information rights policy on the document and trying to protect that document. Similarly, if I am trying, I go to this user and try to download the file. Now the policy which is defined is that user can access, organization user can access the file from the browser and manage devices. This machine, this is my personal laptop, and it is not connected with any domain. So if I try to access this document, download this document and open it from my machine, it will not be open. Let's see what I'm saying that it would work. Now I'm trying to open that document here. To open, you can see that it's applying some of the configurations here and checking for the information right protection management on that document. It will take some time, and we'll verify that if my machine having access to on that secure content or not. Even the user have added access or full access. If the machine is not managed, user will not get that access. And this is the message which I got, that I do not have the permissions from this machine. Now I'm going back to that user to give the user access. Now user will have access to modify the content, and I will just change the type here. Now you can see the toolbar here, and from here I can change the sensitivity of the document here. That I'm making it as a confidential only, and it asking me that what is the reason for changing the secure label, and I'm closing it. And now if I click on this one from here, it will be opened here on the browser for this user. I think I need to refresh. The information is not changing, and let me check what. Okay, I missed that option earlier. So these are the ways for securing content within SharePoint. And at the administrative level, what I have done, there is a way of information protection with the Microsoft 365. If I show, and let me that we have still for some time, and I can show you those. This is the admin center of Microsoft 365. I'm going to the compliance center where we are defining these settings. If you haven't worked on SharePoint or these sites, this could be a bit uh, uh, overdose for you for this session, but I'm just explaining that so that you can get some better understanding about those. Here I have defined all the labels here. Let me, where are those? Actually, Microsoft is continue changing the location of the files here, and I'm just missing them. Sorry, information protection. Here are all the labels which we have created, and if I show you here one of the labels here, that when we create, I will edit this label, and whenever we create a label here, it takes some time to get published. That 4 to 5 hours, or could be at least 24 hours. This is the name and description of the label, and here if where I want to apply it on the files or emails, and also it's a groups or sites, SharePoint site or Teams. And here are few more options that if I want to, Microsoft had made some changes on this screen, but all options are the same. And like encrypt files on emails, that if I click on this one, it will encrypt the files, and that no one else can modify the files here. And also if I enable that watermarking, if I go next, mm, configure encryption settings. These are different encryption settings, and here I will also allow that who can share the document and what are the that how the file would be shared. And similarly, for the content, if I go jump into the next section, it is for content marking that like if you want, I want to customize some of the text on the header and footer of the page, or on the watermark on the page. Like this one is for the watermark, and these are for the header and footers. And then I will apply the changes and apply the changes, and then after that, these when these are published, these will be available within the documents. Yeah, let me these are from teams, that how we are securing teams. And similarly, we like here there are teams, for example, there could be within document, there could be teams which we can secure. So here this is a team where we have restricted the access of the guest users using those sensitivity labels, and you can also specify specific domains who are allowed to access content within your organization or within your teams. And you can easily do these, practice these things using a demo tenant like this one. So if you have any questions, I think we this was a quick wrap up on the securing content within Microsoft Teams, which we have seen today, with how we are securing content on SharePoint, OneDrive, Teams, and then with sensitivity labels. So if you have any questions regarding this you can ask me. And is my contact detail. And if any one of you want to reach out to me, then
We have a question appearing on the screen. Is there a need to automate any portions of the business process? That is via workflow. Vikas Chaudhary is asking a question.
yeah. Actually, there are ways. Power Automate applies a ways to automate the process, and within, if you want to secure the content, there are multiple ways how you want to secure the information, either to sensitivity labels. Then you can also apply those labels automatically on the documents based on their metadata types, or you can also, if you are adding users, you can also identify that there are multiple ways that with automate process. It could be a bit difficult for the larger organizations because managing users is not that simple, and for that purpose we usually use security groups. But if you are using sensitivity labels for, then it would be a better way for automating the process.
Thank you so much. Syed Asad Hussain is asking which security approaches would effectively protect CMS owners, their network, their business, and their customers.
Actually, I have shown you two different ways for protecting content. One is through SharePoint, which is an old technique for saving content, and that is the same technique which you might have seen on different social media sites, that you are giving authoring access to different users. But if we do not talk about CMS, if we talk about the CMS is basically content management within webs, which we call. But if I talk about documents and videos, then if I am using sensitivity labels, then that's the best way to secure content, and where you can also restrict users, external users like customers, that which content they can access and what access will be given to them, like if they can modify the content or not. And you can also define different domains for that. So I would recommend for using the sensitivity labels for that purpose.
Okay, Majid Maiman is asking how can big data content management in one user?
Actually, I have expertise on Microsoft 365 platform, not on the big data side. But for one user, it's not necessary, because when you are applying something, For security things, you must be having number of users. If you And it all depends on how many users your organization have, because everything adds some extra cost, that you need to buy specific licenses for these specific details. If you have a very basic license for Microsoft 365, you will not have that sensitive label pieces, and you can only go with the SharePoint security, which is very basic, which do not encrypt the documents. And so if the document is downloaded on some machine, that can be accessed from anywhere. But if the document is encrypted, then information right policies will protect the document if it accessed from any unknown location.
Muhammad Askar is asking, sir, please share your thoughts on SharePoint capabilities on securing docs using digital signature document tampering.
Actually, digital signature, there are a couple of third Microsoft haven't given any direct signature product on within SharePoint, but there are many third-party tools, add-ons available for digital signature within SharePoint, which even my organization is also using for digital signing of the documents with the customers, because we don't go to the customers for the signing. We are going with the digital signing, and for document tampering, it's very easy to from the versioning and these things, that we can identify that if someone is stamping the document to the version history. And also, if we apply those labels on security labels on the document, then it can easily be monitored. But document version is the key for verifying that if someone has temporary document, because there are we have seen the cases where documents were deleted, and users are claiming that they haven't deleted the files. And when we identify the issue, it appears that user has deleted the document, was synced on their local machines, and they only removed it from their local machines, but they do not have the idea that the document is also syncing. And there are so there are multiple ways for the US system administrator to catch those things.
Mr. Abdurrahman is asking, why would I use SharePoint as a content management system CMS?
Actually, in SharePoint, basically, is the basic purpose. SharePoint is not just a CMS; it's a collaborative platform which provides all the organizations a way to interact within the different teams, managing content, sharing news, calendars, and these are the basic capabilities. Sharing documents, interacting with external systems, having workflows, business processes for performing different tasks. If you remember that the first document which I have shown you, where it having approval process for the documents, because that was a communication site which is used having where everything is dropped and published after specific approvals. So there are different ways that there are different needs within SharePoint, for which we need SharePoint. That could be a detailed topic itself, which I might be discussing at some other event. What will be the requirements for the metadata indexing grouping of similar documents? And actually, in SharePoint is metadata is something which by default there are few metadata fields which are available. If you have seen the document, that I haven't added any extra column, metadata column, but you can easily add multiple metadata columns like year, quarter, teams, like departments, or city, or you whatever the details you want to add. Document libraries have default indexing based on IDs and some other unique fields, but you can also add for the indexing. And grouping is also available, that there are different views are available within SharePoint, that for the grouping documents based on departments, based on whatever the choice you have. Like you have a status field for completed, in progress, different status, so you can group based on those. And there are multiple fields available within document. And there are also different content types within a document, where you can differentiate. We can have different metadata fields for the type of documents. And even you can have multiple documents, multiple document
Okay.
libraries for having different type of data.
Majid Mehman is asking how to install anti-security in management account data.
That would be out of topic for me on this area, because there is something which is related to the infrastructure guys who can guide you on that.
Okay, then. Adnan Abdurrahman is asking, how well does the search capability of the chosen content management system work?
Actually, out of the box search is available in the modern SharePoint, modern online, which is very helpful. And there are different filters available which can be easily used for filtering and the external data. Like you can the default filters which are available are based on authors, time, department, and the keywords, what are terms or metadata fields which are assigned to the document on base of those. And also you can search within a document library, within a site, or within the whole organization, that if you don't know that where is that specific document available. And if in the older class, and many organizations are still using the classic version of search, where they can add their custom filtering or custom filtration options based on their requirements, which requires javascripting, some of the javascripting. And but in modern we don't have that option available, but it's much more faster for searching content.
Okay, so Molato 2001 is asking, in your opinion, which management scheme is easier to use?
I actually do not get exactly regarding the question, but all the topics which I discuss on are within Microsoft 365, where we have we have the same way of managing document. All the content is saved in SharePoint document libraries, and SharePoint are also a way for showing content within web pages. And also Microsoft Teams is also a collaborative platform, the modern collaborative platform, not for the Teams collaboration, but also for the team meetings.
So Microsoft tools are way better than other comparative tools, right,
I would
Adnan?
say I would say yes, because I'm working on that for past 15 years. But there could be other
Okay,
tools that are also in market, and companies are using it, and there could be different reasons, because of pricing and um, things features they are offering. So it's totally
yeah,
depend on the budgeting and these things.
what features they want for them.
Yeah.
Okay, so Fayad Siddiqui is asking, any easy content management system for database programming? Uh,
Actually, that is something which is when you're working with databases, those are not the CMS directly. If you talk about the CMS which are available, I would suggest that WordPress, Joomla, or .NET Nuke, which are most common. But those are the public; those are not like the SharePoint which I'm discussing. Those are a bit different for managing content.
okay, Mr. Fayad Siddiqui is asking, how do I get related research topics on performance and user experience of content management system, WordPress and Joomla?
Uh, Actually, this would be off topic for me, but there are few different tools and add-ons I believe that which are available on WordPress and Joomla for managing, for looking to the performance and experience of the CMS. But I think any expert on WordPress and Joomla can have better answer on this one.
Okay, then. Mr. Hassan Asif is asking, which CMS system do we use most commonly, or do you have any idea about system used in University of Lahore?
Uh,
Uh,
I think any one of you can answer, but the content CMS which I have seen used most by the users is WordPress. For the because those are not the organization level but the individual level. But any one of you can guide on that which one is used on the University of Lahore.
okay, Mr. Ahmed Irza is asking, is there any easy content management system? I guess that's the same question you have answered.
Yeah, and I believe that Joomla, WordPress, or .NET Nuke would be the easiest one, because they have so
Yeah,
many add-ons available, and components available which can easily integrate.
Mr. Durair Shoaib is asking how women can take part in this type of business. I guess it's
Actually,
a modern
again,
era.
no, actually, that's an important question, I would say, because
Yeah.
sometimes people think that in IT, women can't do work, but I'm working with US-based companies for past 6 or 7 years, and it's just like we are managing content and we are discussing teams. They just need to come up, and it's quite easy. Like Sapura is one of the organizer for the event, and I know her for almost 1.5 years now, and she is doing a quite brilliant job on organizing different type of events. And similarly in CMS or in SharePoint side or these type of fields, women are already coming up, and they are doing a very good job. But we need to applaud them and appreciate and motivate them then to come for these type of jobs also, because these are very very, and they are very could be very helpful for the organizations.
Thank you, Adnan. Mr. Majid Neman is asking how to mismatch data content secure from subsystem.
I do not get that question properly.
Uh,
If Majid, you can explain it a bit more.
Mr. Ahmed Khan is asking how can we create a notification task workflow in SharePoint?
Actually, that's quite simple. That you can create if you are using an on-premise SharePoint version, you can create that using SharePoint Designer, or notifications are by default available within lists and libraries. You can turn them on and can add the email addresses, or you can use Power Automate flows for sending the notifications.
Mr. Fayaz Siddiqui is asking which type of detectors are using the region of the CMS experiment at LHC, I guess it's Lahore High Court.
I have no
Uh,
idea about that
some,
because it's totally
yeah,
different
um,
topic.
it's off topic. Mr. Adil name, what content management system should I choose? I guess that depend on the requirement. Right,
Yeah.
Adnan?
Yeah, actually, if you are using for yourself only for publishing your blogs or content, I would suggest that you can go with the easiest one, which are like WordPress, or you can also you can go with the Google Blogs or anyone which are available free. But if you are looking for some organization, then you can look for some paid one, because then you will also get the support from the organizations.
Mr. Abdurrahman, how often will the chosen system need to be upgraded and will upgrading cause any issues?
Yes, definitely. If you are using an on-premise system, normally the age of a on-premise system is 2 to 3 years or 4 years, and this will require extra costs and budgeting to upgrade the systems. And if you're using Microsoft Online Cloud or any other cloud system, it will upgrade automatically. It will only have yearly subscription, which you need to pay.
Okay, right. Anwarul Zaman Azad is asking what is essential to make a professional content.
You should be a good writer. You should be a good researcher for having a professional content. And once you're publishing your content on different forums, like on your blog, on LinkedIn, on your Facebook pages, you need to just make sure that your content is real, that whatever you are writing is not the copied one.
Okay. Mr. Fayaz Siddiqui is asking which content management system is best to design enterprise resource planning ERP system.
ERP is different from CMS. CMS is the content management, and ERPs are totally different systems. These are two different systems.
Okay, Adnan. Kainat Fatma is asking what type of file names and types are not allowed on OneDrive. Yeah, that's an interesting question.
Yeah, there is a link available. If you let me quickly share.
Yeah,
If you
surely.
search for the file types on OneDrive, almost all the file types are supported on OneDrive. If you can see my screen, these are the lists available from the support file type supported. I just searched that, and you can see you will get all the lists of file types which are supported, and also the content which are supported on even all the files can be uploaded but can't be viewed within browser. Like there are file types like .html file can be uploaded to the file on SharePoint Online, but it will not have the same interface of a HTML file.
So if we have to view that file, we have to download it again and view in some other tool, right,
Yeah,
Adnan?
because yeah, there are few file types which are like you cannot run a JS file from the SharePoint. It will be open as a text file.
Okay, okay. So we won't be seeing that format, which actually the HTML file or any other file
Yeah,
we use in our tools.
Yeah, you will be uploading all the content which is because all the content will be saved on SharePoint on and OneDrive, and you can use that from your local drive if you're syncing from your local drive, and it will be working like you're working through your local drive, local machine. But if you try to get the same output from the online, then it would not be possible. But for the JS file, if you are accessing JS file from some other on some other location from SharePoint, if that second location have the access to the file, then it will be having the same functionality as like JS file on your normal websites. Because when we work on web parts within custom development within SharePoint, we save all the files within SharePoint.
So, then it means we can use OneDrive as our, cloud storage drive, so that we can access that files, but not use for, viewing those files or making them edit or anything else.
You can edit those files, and you need to re-upload those files if those are any executable files like uh, you cannot run .exe file directly from your OneDrive, but you need to download and execute it. And if there is an update, you need to override that file on OneDrive.
Okay. So sync function will work if we change any exe file. Will
Yes,
it?
and yeah, whenever you are doing any modifications, the sync will be updating that to OneDrive, and that's one of the best thing. And I want to share a personal. I know that there are some other questions, but I just want to share my one of my personal experience with OneDrive. Not about the OneDrive for business. That I damaged few of my laptops, and there was some workshops coming up, and but luckily I have synced all everything on my OneDrive. So what happened is I just turned on and many of you also have experienced might have experienced this thing, that I logged in with my Outlook account to that machine, and everything is available on that machine from my documents, my pictures, my desktop files. Everything was available as is. So that's one of the core advantages. And if even in organizations, when we switch laptops, it we do not lose any of the content. Everything is available on as is as like over my previous machine, because all the known
That
folders are synced there.
I myself is using OneDrive in my enterprise, and that is the best part of the OneDrive, that you can sync your files, and if at any time you lose your data, you will not actually losing your data, but you will have a backup on your OneDrive, and I guess that's the best part of this.
Yeah, actually, the file will stay for almost 90 days on recycle bin, and you can store it you can easily store it within 90 days. And this is very useful for the organizations which because we have seen that the file was got deleted mistakenly, and they come to know about it after 45 days. They reach out to the administrators, and the administrator will go with search the file from the recycle bin. It's a hectic job for larger organizations which have data in terabytes, but and people are used to delete files, and so it's a bit hectic, but the files are available, and they just need to set the file and restore that file. And that's very one of the key areas of any of the content management system who are managing files like ECM or some others.
Okay, so Mr. Majid is asking, is there any easy content management system for database programming with drag and drop facility?
Actually, these are I told you about SharePoint. These are the tools which are providing these features. I haven't seen drag and drop on WordPress directly, but there could be some add-ons, third-party add-ons available, which are providing those type of functionalities. Otherwise, if you are using any databases, custom systems, I would highly recommend to use jQuery web parts, because I'm personally having a developer background, and way before jQuery came in. So I remember that we are developing system for uploading the files, but with the help of jQuery, there are many components available on jQuery which you can easily integrate on your web portals, on your websites, and you can configure them. to upload the content, but you need to follow the steps which are provided with those web parts. Those I would not say web part, those plugins.
Okay, I guess question there are never ending questions, so
Yeah.
we are going for the close, and we have three names who asked the best questions. Uh, I would like you to announce, so I'm going to send the names in the conversation. Uh,
So the first name is Duresh Shoaib, if I'm
Yes,
pronouncing it wrong.
and that is from the speaker choice because of all the questions, you appreciated that question for about the. He was asking about women role in the field and everything.
Yeah. And second one is Abdur Rahman, which I think is still on screen.
Yeah,
I appreciate your
and third,
questions. I know that if you have any questions, you can reach out to me also, and I will try to answer all your questions. And the third one is Majid Neman.
so we congratulate everyone who have won the questions, and thank you so much, Adnan. Thank you so much for your time. We have taken 17, 18 minutes more than we have discussed, but uh, I guess it was a good session. Everyone have learned from it, and we will reach out to you, Adnan, again for other sessions, and we appreciate your efforts. I, Zunair Asad Khan, on behalf of whole IEEE and on with our collaborating partners, University of Lahore IEEE team, we thank you and thank you to the participants who participated. And signing off for the session. Thank you, Adnan. Take care.
Thank
Allah
you.
Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.